Cause when looking at you open up my eyes, and I'll stay with you forever all the time, and I'm stepping out to leave it all behind.
But sana sana nakupenda, roho yangu umeguza, Mungu nisho kama huyu ni mke wangu. Sana sana nakupenda, roho yangu umeguza, roho yangu umeguza. Yeah, yeah.
Just when looking at you open up my eyes, and I'll stay with you forever all the time, and I'm stepping out to leave it all behind.
We all have a different relationship with the boxing ring. For others like myself, we are just mere observers. For boxers, this is where their careers are made. And for some people, they just come here to observe and unwind. Today, though, on the show, we bring you a story of a fighter of a different kind. Freddy story is testament that it is our mindset that determines how we decide to show up for life every day. My name is Pule Mulebatsi. You are indeed watching Stories Untold. Without any further delays, let's go right into that story.
I'm an IT computer scientist, and I'm CEO of Seoul MNF. It's an IT company that I run with my friends and other partners. And I'm also founder and co-founders of two NGOs. First one is old friends of my primary school. We all work on bettering the life of that school, and then the second one is on people living on with disabilities. It's called Mulema Muntu. It just means a person with a disability is a person. I was born in Congo, 21st of March 1982 in Bujimai. It's a small city, not really that small, but it's a city called the City of Diamonds. My childhood in Congo was really amazing. We've been living a fun life, you know, family with so many kids, a lot of friends. It was fun. We played on the sand, and no Android, no YouTube, you know, that old life back in the 1990s. I grew up there with my whole family, did my primary school there. It was quite nice, met a lot of people. We all grew up together up to high school, and in high school that was called Mulemba, Institute Mulemba. I studied with a lot of people from not even high school, or not even primary school, from kindergarten. We all grew up together and finished high school together. Growing up in Congo and coming here in South Africa and doing my studies here, and then started working here, home affairs, you know, papers. Those are things that I didn't know, but I had to adjust. I had to get to know how life is with all these things that didn't exist where I was coming from.
The gale of a new life that blew Freddy into South Africa nestled him into a job while he was studying, and he blossomed in his company. But Freddy had an insatiable hunger for more. He knew he had more in him than what his current position offered.
My boss used to say in meetings, if you guys have something or a question or you want something, knock. My door is open, just knock, send me an email, come and knock and talk to me. So I went one day, I knocked, and I said, boss, you know, I love this company, and I'd like to start going, you know, to what we were calling going out to clients, you know, be an art a technician, IT technician, support technician that will go to clients. I just said to show him that I was bringing value to the company. I was not just asking for an increase in salary or a new position. I was just telling them I want to add value to the company.
Freddy thrived in his new job and did very well. He managed to purchase a new car, which he shared with his family, being generous and kind-spirited. On this day, he gave up his car for his family to use, and instead he decided to use a motorbike that he borrowed from a friend to go to work.
bought a car. And because my family sometimes will use my car, so using my car will affect my transport. So I had a friend who had a motorbike, and sometimes I will ask him, Chris, can I use your bike? You know, if you're not using it, he would give it to me, so I would use it to go to work with it, leave my car for my family to use it. I wanted to use my car, so my family needed my car again. I told them, no, I don't feel like I need to use my car because I'll be there very late, and I cannot go with a motorbike, you know, driving the motorbike late at night. It's not, I don't feel secure with that. I had said no already, but then my dad came again and asked me the car for that day. He needed to go to the airport, fetch someone and all that and all that. I said no again. I said no, I'm gonna use my car, so if you guys can make another plane, because I need to use my car. Then, you know, having a soft heart, I had to think about it. Then I'm like, okay, let me just call my friend and see if the motorbike is available.
But this decision would be one that would change his life forever.
So yeah, I got to the spa, and just unexpectedly a car turned in front of me.
He just drove into me, and I couldn't brake, I couldn't stop at that time. I tried whatever I could, and I just rolled down, and yeah, from there I can't remember anything. Except paramedics talking to me, cutting off my clothes and stuff like that. So,
I was the first one at the scene with my sister. Well, I found Freddy lying on the floor. It was a bit shocking to see him like that. He still had his helmet on and his eyes were closed. He was unresponsive. But then the thing that happened is all I had to do, I just called him by his nickname. As soon as he heard that, he just opened his eyes in shock.
And I heard my brother, my younger brother, calling me by my nickname. He's like, Seoul. I'm like, hmm? Then I opened my eyes. I'm like, he's here. What is he doing here? I'm dreaming. Then again, I saw people asking me questions. Can you do this? Can you do that? Then I was trying to answer. It was still a dream for me, so I was trying to answer. Then I was like, oh, let me sleep. And I opened my eyes. I'm in an ambulance. I'm like, yeah, still dreaming.
The paramedic asked him, okay, we're gonna run some tests. I'm gonna pinch your toes and tell me if you can feel anything. And he was like, okay, all right. And he waited a few seconds, then he asked the paramedic, yeah, I'm still waiting. And at that moment, the paramedic was already pinching. That's when I realized that we could be dealing with paralysis.
Welcome back to Stories Untold with me, Bulem Molebatsi. Sometimes life throws us with curveballs that rearranges and unsettles our destiny. But it's up to us to take charge of our stories. Let's have a look at how Freddy did just that.
just like a few meters away from him, like 1 or 2 meters away from him, he just drove into me.
At this stage, Freddy did not know the extent of his injuries.
Next thing, I'm in hospital, and okay, I didn't even know it was a hospital because it was just people wearing white next to me, taking me into this funny tube. Everything is white in it, asking me not to move. So I was like, okay, I'm dreaming. So, and I had some rest, you know. And then when I really woke up, I look at the ceiling. I'm like, this is not my bedroom. this is not my bedroom. So everything that I was seeing was not a dream, it was an accident. I didn't know I knew so many people. Then I saw my mother came and I saw they were crying, and I just told them, no, listen, it's just an accident. I'm not dying. It's not something terminal, like I've got a terminal disease or what. I just told them, no, I'm okay. I'll be okay. So it's just an accident. Don't worry. I'll be fine. It's an accident. I'm not dying. I just broke my arm because that's what I could see that was broken. That's all I know. I knew Johannesburg Hospital being a hospital where you see a lot of students. So I see a doctor coming in with some student, and they're busy talking about what happened to me. So I'm that type of person that like listening to what people are talking about, especially when it's about me. So now they start talking about using jargons, those medical terms that I didn't understand. And I was still curious, still listening to what they were saying. And spinal cord, and how they're gonna put things on his head to keep his neck. I still had the neck collar that they put on me there, and then they say no, it will go through this and that. I was like lost completely. What are they just talking about? Now they're talking about putting something on my head. Like, what? Yeah, and again, they were busy cutting my skin there on the side of my head just to put something to pull my neck. And so I was like, okay. So I was really, really scared because I'm like, at least I knew something about the brain. I knew a brain injury, it's something that doesn't heal fast or heal at all. So I was like, I don't want to damage my brain, so I mustn't move.
But then the physiotherapist delivered news that would shatter most people.
The physiotherapist told me, you broke your spine, around your neck. You broke your neck, and then you won't feel this, you won't do this. She was going bit by bit, and then she told me, so you're not gonna walk. Probably you're never gonna walk again. And I just looked at her, because she was on my left side. Couldn't really turn my head, but I just looked, and then for me it was like a challenge. I was like, okay, watch me. I had to understand that person, not really that person, but the injury. I had to understand. So I decided to have a certain attitude towards it. Was to listen to what they're talking about, understand more what it is that I'm going through, and getting to understand also how my body is functioning, because you can't use almost 80% of your body. You can't use that. You can't control it. You can't feel it. So that was really, really, really like that. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was just weird. How come I can't? It's here, but I can't use it. I can't control it. It was a shock. I was that guy in a family that was doing almost helping everyone, helping everyone, doing things for almost everyone in the family. Now that guy is almost out of the game, So they were really affected, and also seeing someone that was just fine a few days ago in a condition like that, they were really, really affected. But inside me already, I had taken the decision to fight.
The human spirit is one of ability, perseverance, and courage that no disability can steal away. The fight within him began to ignite, but it is a journey, and in the beginning, things are never easy, but the fire of a fighter can never be extinguished.
It was tough, huh? It was tough. When the rehab started, we would go into a room where they bring all the other people, and you look at everyone, oh, this one can do this that I cannot do. You look at the other one, oh, he can walk, but he's just that's one leg. But I can't walk, I can't stand. Even just with me to go into those rooms, they had to take me on a tilt bed because I couldn't even sit on a chair like this.
The company that Freddy was working for wanted to help him, so they gifted him with a wheelchair. They suggested he meets the manufacturer of the wheelchair, and this meeting would be a monumental experience, a turning point where Freddy will be introduced to a higher version of himself, an indomitable spirit of a fighter.
I see this guy sitting on a big wheelchair, moving that chair with his chin, and I'm like, okay, so this is the guy who's gonna make me a wheelchair? A guy who can only move his neck and barely talk because everything was affected. His phone is here next to his head, the command for his chair next. I'm like, okay, if this guy can do this and I've got more than him, then I can do better than that guy. I can surely do more than that. My mindset changed at that moment. I was like, all right, I need to do, when I go for in those rooms where we do exercises, I need to do more than what I'm doing. I need to improve myself. I need to push myself. I started like that. From that one guy that I saw, I started pushing myself.
Welcome back to Stories Untold. We are almost at the end of the show, but we still have a few more minutes to spare. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what's left of the program today. As we bring you the story of Freddy today, we are once again reminded that we are all a sum total of our thoughts. We are definitely what we think of. So when Freddy started to think differently, everything fell into place for him. Let's have a look.
Hard things are put in our way not to stop us, but to call out our courage and strength. Freddy had a renewed and refreshed vision for his life. He found courage and strength focused on his abilities and uniqueness. He realized his life was not over. If anything, it had begun. So he started to create normality, and his life catapulted to even greater heights.
I went back to work after a week. I kept pushing. It was adjustment with the computers and things like that. I pushed into learning how to use the computer differently. I started swimming. I started doing more therapy, physiotherapy. At that place, there was a lady, she's an occupational therapist, and she said, Freddy, why are they pushing me? Why are they pushing you? Why are they doing it for you? Well, and then she kept coming up with the name of a person who is exactly like me, but can do that, can do this, can do this. I just got fed up. I told her, Ilse, you keep talking about Peter. I'm tired of hearing Peter. I want to see Peter. And Peter came at that rehab. He showed me everything. From that day, I decided no more help to get in and out of the car. I will do it. First day, it took me almost 45 minutes to get from a chair to my car. But the second day, it took me 15 minutes. And it kept going like that. And so was all my achievements that I had. I had vision, I had ambitions, I had things that I wanted to do. I told myself, okay, I need to get into sport. I need to get into normal life, driving, like I used to. I used to drive before. So So why do I need someone to drive if I've seen other people on wheelchairs do the same thing?
So many of Freddy's dreams after his accident at first seemed impossible. As he pushed himself, they seemed improbable. But then he summoned the fight within himself. He would not allow to be limited by his disability, and now his dreams and future have become unstoppable.
I told myself I love traveling. I love doing some big things. I've always dreamt of having my own business, my own company, you know, and being in IT, having worked in a company that would bring IT solutions. Why can't I do it myself? So I started pushing into all that, and that's how I ended up opening my own business with my brother-in-law, and I ended up going to the New York Marathon.
Go Freddy!
You know, I did the hand cycling day in New York, 42 kilometers in New York.
Freddy is very determined, so what I've learned from him is when he puts his head down to something, he wants to do it. I know he's done the Boston Marathon or the New York Marathon. I might be mistaken which one it is, but one achievement regardless, yeah. And that takes some dedication, yeah. That takes a lot of training, a lot of organizing. So he's certainly put himself out there and achieved goals that he's personally achieved, and that you know, puts a feather in anybody's cap. And you look at the guy going, okay, that's impressive, you know, to organize that.
The way that I would describe Freddy is an ambitious guy. He strives to achieve something in his life, and you know, he's the kind of person. Is like a straightforward person, a straight thinker. You know, he always look forward for like the next thing to do.
He is the strongest guy I've ever met. He gives you that strength every time when you feel like you are down, you can't go on, and things like that. You think about Freddy, and now you tell yourself, you know what, I can do it.
Freddy's experience really changed the way that we view things in life. So the kind of positivity it brings in you, the kind of drive that guy has, I'm telling you, so whenever that you look at Freddy, and sometimes when you're so down, you don't want to do anything, you just feel like, Freddy will be doing this.
Important life lesson that I learned from Freddy is, and he always says it's the only disability in life is a bad attitude. So seeing him, I just know that this guy is so strong that he doesn't need his legs. He's busy showing me that you don't have to stand on two legs to accomplish things, to go after the things that you want.
Just for looking at you, open up my eyes, and I'll stay with you forever all the time, and I'm stepping out to leave it all behind.
But sana sana nakupenda, roho yangu umeguza, Mungu nisho kama huyu ni mke wangu. Sana sana nakupenda, roho yangu umeguza, roho yangu umeguza. Yeah.
Just for looking at you, open up my eyes, and I'll stay with you forever all the time, and I'm stepping out to leave it all behind.